Hello, welcome back to another episode of Tales of the Lich. This is episode 2 of the Freeman campaign with returning people. We'll get those introductions in just a moment. Quickly, we'll just go over a quick recap. Uh, the party met at Stella Solis, which is a Freeman gathering during the winter where all of these guys in their moving cities gather deep within the desert. They trade whatever they found, they trade crew as well, and they generally just kind of share information. They were assigned to a very new ground shaker and were sent off really not much to go on. And with that, they've been traveling for a day or so, and they've found another lost ground shaker that they're currently investigating. That being said, getting back to the rest of our party, can we just get a very quick introduction of who you are playing turn one?
Hi there. I am playing Day. I am a bit of a self-centered, egotistical bard. That's it. He's kind of fast talking, bit of an idiot,
Fair
very
enough.
full of himself.
Lady Knight, who are you playing?
I am playing a Warforged monk, dabbling a little bit in cleric. I'm pretty creative. I like to solve problems by making things and fixing things.
And finally, Justin, who are you playing?
I'm playing Fizzlewitz Bellbottom, the Gnome Artificer, specifically Artillerist, and he typically, although it hasn't come out yet, he typically believes most problems can be solved with a well-placed explosion.
It's a good sentiment to have, especially
Yeah,
in a world
he,
such as
he
this.
would be right.
You would be right indeed. So, last time you guys came into this, what seems to be damaged or forgotten ground shaker, you've uncovered that the way these things work is due to the biomech nature. There tends to be a lot of necrotic or necromantic energies that go into keeping these things moving. Thus being said, there's usually a purity stone to try to drag that negativity or that school of magic into a more controlled way. Um, you were also assigned a human companion that mentioned in passing that once one of these things go down and the purity stones get overused or outmaintained, those energies tends to bring the crew back to life in one way or another. So you guys carefully made your way into here. There's a brief encounter at where the purity stone was to uncover that that is indeed seems to be what's happening here. You exited there, you moved up, and you found yourself in the main chamber of this rather small ground shaker. There's three doors on either side, and you can hear faint scratching sounds coming from them. On the wall in front of you, there's a message left from the old captain, where he's laying claim to whatever is in here is still his, and he doesn't give a damn that he's dead. There's a faint shaft of light coming down that's kind of illuminating this, but besides that, it's rather dark in this interior. What would you like
Would
to
you?
do?
I think after getting the my vomit-ridden clothes off, and magically appearing into my new ones, I'm going to start looking around. I want to start rummaging around with things. Obviously, if the captain said the things on the ship still belong to him, he must have something valuable.
Okay, do you want to do a perception or an investigation? How close are you getting?
I'll probably do a. I don't trust the captain, so I'll probably just do perception.
Alright, perception. While you're rolling that, Justin, what do you think Fizzlewitz is doing in this?
I think I want to go see what that scratching is all about.
Okay, that one, again, insight or investigate. Sorry, perception or investigation, depending on how close you want to get to the problem.
do investigation.
All right, and then what are you up to while your two friends kind of pan out? Uh, do you think you guys are going in the same direction, or kind of like divide and conquering?
I definitely like to stay within sight of the rest of them. I mean, we heard the weird sounds. Captain says it's his, so there might be booby traps. So I definitely want to stay around the teammates.
Okay, so Fizzle is going one way. Ciolade is kind of hovering in the middle, looking around. What's doing?
I'm also going to like look around, but for the most part, I'm keeping my eyes open, trying to watch the backs of the other two.
All right, then that will be a perception check. And you see that Dovin, the human with the black hair, is also kind of looking around, but he's moving up towards the message. So
23.
23. And what did you get, Ciolade?
I got a 24.
24. And Fizzle?
A total of 27.
27. Well, you guys are all quite perceptive. Maybe it's a little bit of what's going on kind of bringing you to a heightened senses. Behind you, you don't really hear much except for the faint, ominous kind of echoes coming up the stairway towards you. Same for you, Ciolade. As you're looking around, you're looking for traps. You notice that the staircase going up, it seems like there might be another message written up there that you can see, but you don't see any obvious traps. Fizzle, you, however, who's moving up towards one of these doors, you can see they're all locked, but it seems rigged in such a way that let's see, is there a check for this? Do general intelligence check for me.
Okay. Well, that's a 2. So that comes to 6.
6. You're unfamiliar. You can see like there's the same rune scribed onto each door. It could be a way of locking, it could be a way of interacting with the doors, but the only thing you can really gather is that there is a familiar rune on each of these doors. Dovin kind of speaks up at this point and he goes, "You guys see anything? What's the plan? Are we going up, going down? Are we holding here?"
I think there's something behind this door.
I would. Can I see if it looks like a language? Like, is it just a miscellaneous rune, or is it something from a language?
What languages do you speak?
I speak Common, Elvish, and Goblin.
It might be a language, but it's none that you know.
Okay. I'll just make a little comment. I'm like, this doesn't seem like any languages I know. I'm not the most well-spoken. What about you? And I'll just kind of gesture to the rest of the party.
Not a clue.
I know Elven and Machine Speak as well common. Is it either of those?
You recognize that it is a little bit of machine speak. I mean, you're not the most fluent in it, but you recognize there's some. Make an intelligence check with advantage.
Assuming is intelligent.
Smarter than you, beach. 18.
18. So you don't know the exact command, but you understand what the way that machine speak is written. It's usually done with a little bit of arcane magic within it, and this one actually has what would be like a command line. So if you were to interact with it, it could trigger or work with other things.
Does anybody have experience with DOS?
apparently has a little bit.
Sorry, Java only.
He's a purist.
I need to check the rules on identify quickly.
Sounds
Cast a
good.
spell and you cry.
So is kind of like, they look at it and they kind of tilt their head as if they're, you can almost hear like the
Trying to nap.
servos in their head kind of winding up as they think over this problem.
You can hear the hamster running in the wheel behind my skull plate.
Nobody get on the phone.
Um,
You'll cut off the internet connection.
Okay. Is the writing itself actually magically imbued?
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna cast Identify.
Okay. So you
There is magic.
Yeah.
yes, there is magic. Let me just figure out. So being as it is machine speak, and the school of magic they usually use is necromancy. So there's a few undertones of that.
Mhm.
But the main school of magic that this works towards seems to be transmutation and a little bit of adjuration as well.
Okay. Do I know what spell it is, or like what it does at all, other than just?
Well, it's not really a spell that exists, but you understand that it has those elements within it.
My question is like, what would happen if I activate it?
Something with transmutation and something with adjuration is what would go off.
Okay, you know what? Balls meet wall. I'm gonna activate the runes.
Okay. So you kind of sit there and you wind up for a little bit and you kind of cock your head thinking, and then you go, yeah, I think I know. Or at the very least, I'll figure it out. And you reach forward and you grab this handle, and the rune kind of flashes, and the other 5 on the other doors all flash, and all of the doors kind of like, and just kind of like slide over just a little bit, and all of the doors unlock at once. Do you think any of you guys were being quiet doing this?
Not me.
Yes.
Probably not.
I want to get you to roll stealth with disadvantage, as you're the only one claiming this.
11.
11. So the door that you
No, the other one's a 9, not a 6. That's actually. Wait.
take your time.
Math is hard.
7 plus 6 is not 11. Why did I think it was
It's
11?
13.
Why am I? Oh, right, concussion. Never mind.
Okay.
Brain damage.
Banging head
Earth is
against
hard.
wall to get where I'm going. Alright. So you open this door and there's this little flash along all of the doors as they all just kind of squeak open a little bit. And the scratching kind of stops. Are you opening this door fully, or are you just activating the rune?
I'm gonna take a peek. I'm
Take it.
gonna take a little gander, just a little look-sees.
Okay.
Yep.
For that, roll a perception then. You can tell me how you want to look, and I'll let you know what you need to roll. What is
I'm
a
just
little
like
look-see?
I'm just like peeking around. I'm imagining like I can open this just a little crack.
Yeah, then perception check will do just fine for that.
Just enough to view with my robot eye.
My one good eye.
My one really good eye. So that is 16. 17.
17. Alright, so you open this door, and you can see within this, it looks like it was where people would come to sleep, and there's like several bunk beds set up, and it looks like they're about 3 high, not a lot of clearance between each one. Top one is
Yeah.
just kind of suspended by chains, but all of these beds have like the similar way in most Freeman places where the beds could like flip up against the walls and like just be completely folded away. In this
Mhm.
case, most of them have been folded up, but on the other side, they're all down, and you can also see like several little foot lockers here and there. Uh,
Okay.
what's your guys' passive perceptions? I think I have these. Let me check. I do
I
have
have a
them.
16.
Yeah, but you're busy, so you don't matter.
Damn. 12.
12.
18.
All right, Sealiday. While they're looking in, you notice that Dovin, who's now like taken over looking down the stairs, hasn't noticed either. But out of the other rooms, there seems to be 3 zombies that have entered so far. Clothes are kind of ruined, and they're just kind of moving towards your group, but they're rather quiet. Their feet have all been wrapped in cloth. And you see there's more movement behind them from the far side, and you can tell there's probably about maybe 8 to 12 that are going to be following these 3.
Really?
And they're probably about 50 feet from the group right now, and you're the only one that's noticed.
I'll turn about rather quickly, like, oh, disgusting! Look at the state of them! And I'll just wildly flail with my hand in their direction.
Alright. If that's going to be an action, then this is where we will all be rolling initiative then.
Yep, that's it.
So everyone, if you can roll, and then I will call out the numbers as needed. So just let me know when you have all rolled.
Yup.
Alright. Are we all ready?
Yep.
Alright, so
Yep.
20 to 25. Okay. Let me just fill this out. Then we have 15 to 20.
19.
19. Alright, then we have 10 to 15.
No.
And what did you get?
11.
And what did you get, Fizzle?
4.
Fair enough.
I like that number. It's
It's my favorite number.
divisible by 1.
It needs to be followed by a 2, though.
Ideally.
You're an artificer, not a fucking... not philosophical.
Not philosophical. Well put, I think.
Question mark?
Alright, so the 3 that are in this room start to move. They get within about 20 feet before you're able to kind of like shake off the shocks, Sealiday. What would you like to do? They're kind of like reaching towards you and groaning. And finally, like now that they're this close, you guys can like hear them. They don't seem like they have any weapons or anything on them, or at least these first 3 don't.
I would like to... I mentioned last session that my, I have a hand crossbow. I'd like to load it quickly and take a shot at the first zombie.
Okay. Go ahead and hit me with that attack roll.
A little sad, but that's a 15.
15?
Yeah.
That will hit. So go ahead and roll me damage, and
Hand crossbow's a d6, I believe?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a d6. So that is 4 damage.
4 damage. Okay. So you turn around and you kind of like very quickly load this crossbow, or do you think you already had it in your hands?
Already had the crossbow. What I would have had to grab the bolt and load it. So
Okay.
bonus action standard action.
Bonus action, standard action. Just making sure that you were using both of those. And you
Yep.
let fly as quickly as you can. Striking this one, it's a bit of a panic shot, and it just kind of like sticks him in the gut. It doesn't seem like it slows him down too much, but there's now that hanging out of him. At this moment, Dovin the human turns around and he just kind of like moves in between the other ones that are like coming through, and he's like, "I'll slow him!" And he pulls his sword out and directly in front of him, and he kind of gets a little entangled with the next four as they enter the room. You're up. So there's 3 on your group, and then Dovin, who looks like he's fighting about 4 of them at a time.
Yeah, go red shirt.
He's kind of holding his own, but one of them has like latched on, and it looks like it's biting hard into his shoulder, and he just kind of like barely manages to push it off. Chick, are you there?
Yeah?
It's your turn.
Oh, I didn't realize you were talking to me.
He made the sound.
My brain didn't register it, okay? So... I am going to do the thing, and there's a bunch of zombies here.
Okay, what is the thing?
Throw myself at the zombies while screaming out Word of Radiance. So then everything in the room gets hit.
Okay.
So I'm gonna go and put myself between as many zombies and the people as possible. And then everything that can see me is just... everything that isn't a friend that can see me is going to take damage.
Okay.
I'm just waiting for the spell page to load.
And then you'll let me know about all of that?
Yep. So they must succeed a Constitution saving throw or take radiant damage.
Okay, and what is the range on this?
If they can see me.
If they can see you. Okay,
The range is you can see me.
you got it. And this applies to your teammates as well?
No. Everything that is not shaped like a friend.
Sounds good. What is your DC?
It is a DC of 14. Constitution. They're zombies. They should not have good Constitution scores.
I mean, even if they did or didn't, it really depends on my dice, and my dice has decided there will be blood.
Okay, that is 11 radiant damage.
Can I make a gentle request? New dice.
Me?
Yeah.
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 The dice decide there will be blood.
Nah. Today we suffer.
Well, I was referring to their blood, but I mean, yeah, I'm willing to change it up for you. You know, make it a bit fairer.
No, their blood. That's cool.
So that's your action, right? As you like flare with this light.
Yeah.
All right.
And I put myself between as many of them as possible.
All right. So you want to move up to where Dovin is kind of like fighting, or do you want to stick with your 3?
I want to get in between zombies and my 3. So like on the opposite side of the room, on the opposite. Are they only coming in from the one room? Or...
it seems like they're all coming in from one side.
Yeah. Yeah, so I'm gonna put myself in between for now.
Okay. So, are you using a holy symbol for this, or how would you want to describe this? Where is this light coming from?
I have arcane and religious symbols carved on my different metal plates that you can see.
Okay.
And the symbol in the center is a symbol of the forge and creation in machine speak.
Okay.
And it comes out of that sigil in the center of my chest.
Alright, so that's what flares up.
Yeah.
Alright, so you come back out of this room and there's lights coming up and some of the zombies kind of like stumble back a little bit. Not quite smart enough to cover their eyes, but enough that they try to like take a step back or they try to like turn away a little bit, throwing their shoulders up defensively. So you move up to engage this and two more zombies come out from the side, kind of flanking you, but you said you wanted to stay kind of in between, so you're directly in their path. And they're going to take a swing at you. I believe you have an AC of 17, correct?
18 because Forge Cleric.
18 because Forge Cleric. Alright. Luckily for me, there will be blood. Unlucky for you, it's your blood this time.
Damn it.
New dice.
So, in total, you're going to take 10 damage, 6 from one, 4 from another, as they kind of like fall over top you, biting and gnashing as much as they can. Somehow it manages to make its way around most of your plates, and they actually kind of catch like the fleshy bits underneath, where you still haven't been completely made metal.
Damn it.
Fizzle, it's your turn. There's 3 zombies about 20 feet from you, and then there's another 2 a little bit of ways, and then there seems to be a cluster of 5 moving around Dovin. And there's one other zombie still struggling, but he's a little slow, and he's coming from a little south of you, probably about 50 feet, but he's not quite engaged yet.
Alright, yeah, ignore him for the moment. I think I'm going to actually lean forward a bit and reach back and pull a lever on my strange backpack, and a tube on it makes a thwomp sound, and that shoots out a canister, which then goes into the air about the middle of everyone and explodes into a large glitter bomb,
T-shirt.
basically. I am casting Fairy Fire.
I thought you were giving out free T-shirts.
Oh, that too, but
Alright.
not until later.
And that gives advantage for all attacks against these targets on the next turn, correct?
It's a dex save for everything
A dex
there.
save. And what's the range on this?
Range? Oh god,
60 feet?
something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Well,
60 feet.
that should be able to catch most of them if you aim it right. So I will let this. What's the what's your DC?
15.
15. The dice are deciding there will be glitter. Alright. So out of the 11-ish zombies in here, it looks like only 3 of them have managed to be unscathed from this falling glitter that's kind of like... Is it like a fiery thing, do you think, or is it actually like glitter? Is it kind of like a flare?
Oh, it's more like actual glitter.
More like actual glitter. Well, somehow these 2 have beaten the odds, and they're the only ones not glittering. But the rest of them, they glint quite nicely in the shaft of light coming down. Steelade, you're going to be up, but very quickly. That is the end of your turn, right, Fizzle?
Yeah, that'll be it.
That'll be it. Alright. Steelade, the 3 zombies in front of you are going to move forward, and they're going to try their hand. Or hands. What is your AC?
A little sad.
A little
My AC is 14.
14. Well, of the 3 reaching out, you manage to kind of like move your crossbow across and you like push one of them out of the way. But the other 2 kind of like fall in behind that, and they can't quite get their teeth on you, but instead they kind of grab you and their nails are digging into your flesh. You're going to take 7 points of damage, 6 from one, 1 from another, because...
I imagine as they're reaching for me, I just kind of like swat their hands away.
Yeah, exactly. It's just kind of like moving a crossbow back and forth. But that being said, it is your turn.
Okay. Can I make an Arcana roll to see if they are like an actual creature or if there is a spell animating them?
Yeah, it can be an Arcana roll.
That is 18 on the die. Plus Arcana, that is... I forget how to read. That'd be 19.
19. You're aware, based on the description of Dovan and the Purity Stones, that they're probably being brought back to life just due to their closeness or their proximity to the the full Purity Stone.
Okay, so it's the necromantic energy in the area that's
Yes.
affecting them. Do I know, from what I've heard people talking about, do I know what will happen if the necromantic energy stops?
They would probably stop coming back to life.
Okay, then I'm going to cast Dispel Magic. It specifies one creature, object, or magical effect within range, with 120 feet range. So I'm going to attempt to dispel the necromantic energy that's resurrecting the zombies.
Okay. You will be aware, like, it will take effect for a little bit, but you're not going to completely get rid of the energies, and they'll be back in a turn or two. But this
Yeah,
would
that's fine.
knock them out for a little bit.
Yeah, this gives us a chance to like effectively like coup de grace or position ourselves better.
Yep. Just letting you know, like, don't expect this to be a permanent effect.
Yeah, I mean the entire place
and
is
what's
made of
the
necromantic.
what's the range of your dispel? Or is it just
120 feet.
120 feet? And how do you cast this spell?
I imagine I'm going to grab my robe, which is all like patchwork, and I'm going to flap my cloak dramatically, and it's going to send basically a shockwave of energy, and I just want the zombies to just basically topple over as the wave hits them, kind of like a gust of wind.
Yeah, basically that's exactly what happens as you like let forth this like little blast. It's no one else like feels it, right? But as it's going, you watch as the fairy fire also just kind of winks out as this wave rolls over them. As the fires are going out, you watch as the zombies kind of stumble over each other and like fall down. Some in a clump, some not as much in a clump.
As I send out the wave, I kind of imagine like I'm popping my collar, like dramatically with my cape. I'm going to call out, "Now, get them!"
Right.
And I'm going to take my movement over and position myself to look like I want to stomp one's head in.
Okay. Dovin, indeed. That is the end of your turn, correct?
Yes.
Right. So Dovin is definitely taking your words to heart as he just does like planting his great sword down, right? Two hands in it, point down on one, and then goes to the next. What are you doing? Ariel? Lady Knight? Are you there?
Yeah, so I cut out for a second there.
Okay. Are you aware of what happened, or do you need a recap?
1 second. I think I need to switch to my phone because the internet on my computer is being real glitchy.
Okay, we will come back to you. Fizzle, what would you like to do?
I wasn't ready. Let's see.
Hello?
Hello?
Oh,
Hi. Sorry about that.
Okay, I will let you think about that, Fizzle, and I'll drop back here since you weren't quite prepared. Alright, so do you need a recap, or are you aware of what happened?
I know James did a thing. I didn't hear what the thing did.
It was this
Dispel magic.
Dispel magic that managed to knock all of the zombies out temporarily, Dovin is currently chopping away at the 3 tower on him, and it is your turn.
Okay, I'm gonna start punching at the ones that were on me.
Okay, you can just roll with advantage,
Yeah.
as they are technically prone.
I am going to run into one of them. So, let me check here quickly.
Should I come back to you, or
Dirty 20?
that will hit?
Okay. I just don't have my stuff written down for unarmed strikes.
As a
Because
monk,
I definitely
that seems like
using
a
one.
weird tactical choice.
Yeah.
Seems like a bad decision.
Well, I wasn't planning to do too many, but now I'm going to be using Flurry of Blows, so I need it.
Okay.
Plays monk, never looks at monk class. Squints at cleric.
This doesn't seem
Must
to add
be a
up.
drunken master.
hey, I know I have key points, and I know they can do things.
I'm just
Okay.
really into my role play as Drunken Master.
More drunk than master.
That's 6 damage.
Okay. What did you roll to hit?
Dirty 20.
Okay, yeah. Sorry, I thought you were rolling your flurry of blows and telling me those.
So, first I'm doing the full attack, then I'm going to spend the key and do Flurry of Blows.
Okay, I respect that.
The second hit, because I have extra attack, is 21.
Okay.
And that's only 4 damage. In or out, Kaya? Make up your fucking mind. Is he still alive?
Well, he's on the ground and technically dead because the spell's not on him. So, I mean, checking for a pulse really won't give you much here. So it's really up to your
I'm mostly going
discretion.
for crushing the skulls into blood paste for salsa.
I mean, it's definitely a cracked skull right now.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna move on to cracking the skull of the next one.
Okay.
Let's hood stomp this guy.
Stay it with
That
me.
is
Molly, wop.
21 again.
Okay. Still hits.
And that is another 6 damage.
Alright. That, as well, looks like you've done quite a bit of damage on these ones, but you're still not quite sure.
If we rolled a 20 on a prone target and we missed,
Oh, that's 2 strikes, so I get a 4th and final attack of the turn. Wow. I got a 4 and a 3. Pretty sure that's not gonna hit.
Yeah, no, so that one, like, it's a little slick with blood, and this
That's
time...
only 10.
Yeah, this time you go to stomp, but, like, you feel your weight kind of shift underneath you, and to save face, you put your foot back down. A little to the side. Is that your turn?
Yeah.
Alright, Fizzle.
Just stomping some skulls.
How many are left?
So, right now there's still 11 zombies in the room. Some of them, you know, they're all currently laying on the ground. There's 3 on top of where you are right now. Another one that was coming up that's now about 20 feet away from you. And then there's the other ones fighting with Dovin and 2 that are around.
Alright, I want to maneuver so that I have as many within like 15 feet of me as possible.
Yeah,
without any of the party members also there.
The best you could probably do is moving around to where Dovin is, and you could probably get there 5.
Alright, I will do that. I once again reach back to my backpack and turn a knob, pull a different lever, and then pull a rope, And out of the backpack springs a bunch of small speakers, and it goes as I cast Thunder Wave.
Okay. I imagine they're all going to auto-fail here as they're unconscious. Or theoretically dead.
Well, I mean, they're zombies, so yeah, they're dead.
Yeah. Actually, do me a favor and roll damage, because in theory, being a dead body, you probably would still hit. So you can roll your damage for that as well.
Wow, a 1.
Well, it's better than the 0 you would have rolled.
Yep. It is something, and I will accept it.
Well, that really sucked. That would be 3 damage.
How much?
3.
3 damage.
And they're pushed 10 feet away from me, if that matters.
Yeah, I mean,
Oh.
so the speakers come out and there's this loud sound, and you probably shouted out a warning, and everyone else kind of like has their hands up over their ears ready for this as this blast goes off, and the bodies kind of like loosely roll and like flop over on the ground, getting pushed a little bit of ways from you.
Well, I think those things need a bit of tweaking. That didn't work very well. That'll be my turn.
Okay. Sirliday, you're coming up next, but you do see as like the zombies still seem to kind of be like struggling a little bit. Like it seems like they're back under the effects of
The resurrection.
yes. Some of them are looking more shaken, and some of them look like they're having a harder time getting up than before. But it seems like unless something else happens, they're going to be getting up again, regardless of the beating they just received.
Okay.
But it is your turn, so what would you like to do?
I'm going to attempt something. On my right leg, I have a holster that is specifically designed to hold my flute. So in the quickest motion anyone's ever seen, I pull out my flute to my lips, and I put a small drop of honey in it, and I'm going to attempt to cast Suggestion on one of the zombies that seems to be doing the best, like who is more upright than his friends.
Okay. I like the description. I'm just seeing if Suggestion would work on the zombie.
Yeah,
I think
because it's within range that can hear and understand you.
that
As long as they speak common, they should be able to. But it says influence a creature that you can see within range that can hear and understand you.
There's nothing that says needs this intelligence, nothing like that. So yeah, this indeed it could work. So it is a Wisdom saving throw. What is your DC?
15.
15. Alright, so you suggest the one that's been a little off to the side, a little out of the way, is the latecomer to this group. And
Yes.
as you play this tune, like focusing on him in particular, you watch as he's kind of shifts, almost as if he like falls under the effects of your spell. What suggestion are you making?
I'm going to call out, "Protect me!" And I'm going to do like a little gross gesture and kind of shy away from the gross zombies that are everywhere.
Okay. And is that going to be your turn?
I will take my movement kind of in front of the zombies. Basically, I'd like to use them as a bodyguard to put that zombie between myself and the rest of my team behind me.
Okay.
So basically use him as a bodyguard without specifying, because then the spell would end.
Okay. And you're doing nothing with your bonus action?
I'll probably load my hand crossbow with my bonus action.
Okay. Sounds like a plan to me. And then we get back to Dovin, who is going to double his efforts here, and he's actually like trying to remove the heads at this point. As one of the heads like comes off, he like kicks it into a far corner away from him.
Yes.
Yes, I'm going to keep smashing skulls as well.
Okay. We'll say anything above a 10 will hit. for the sake of this.
Okay. That's 1 hit, 2 hits, 5 damage, and 4 damage. Are there any still around? Me in general, I guess.
Okay, was that all on to the first zombie you hit or the second zombie you hit? Because there are 2 at your
One.
feet.
After the 5, how beaten up is the first one looking?
So that was all into the first one? Or that was just the 5 damage into him?
The 5 damage into him, and how bad is he looking?
He definitely doesn't look good. But somehow he is still getting to his feet.
Well, then the full attack into him. How is he looking now?
Okay, that will drop him.
Okay, I'm gonna spend another key and go after the second one. That's a hit! And a critical hit, not 20.
Okay.
So for the first one, that is a 4. And for the critical hit, 11.
11 damage.
Okay. 11 on the critical and 4 on the other, so 15 total.
Alright, so same with this one. You kind of like... Well, not the same. This time you're ready for like the little pool of blood you're standing in, and you brace yourself just right as you like curb stomp into this. And you actually like completely like the skull explodes. Just kind of like spraying bits of bone and brain across the floor. And it's actually like almost up to your knee, the goal.
Gonna have to clean that up.
Alright, Fizzle, there's...
I'm gonna move towards the others, though.
The others, though. Okay.
Yeah, any other zombies around? I'm gonna start moving towards those guys.
It seems like Dovin has dealt with his 3. You've dealt with your 2. One of them seems like it's moving with a different purpose in mind towards the group. So the last one are the 3 around Ciolidae.
Okay, I'll go for those 3. I'll head that way.
Fizzle, same description to you. There seems to be 3 still struggling to the feet around Ciolidae, and another one that seems to be under some sort of effect also moving towards Ciolidae.
Well, you know what? Let's start evening out the numbers a little bit. I'm gonna heft my shield and start thumping my backpack. Come on, work, you son of a bitch! And it'll suddenly just drop a metal sphere right onto the ground, which sprouts 4 little spider legs, and it skitters out a little bit. Try it! Blast him to pieces! And it will fire a beam of force at the one that's coming up at us.
Okay, so you want to hit the one that seems to be under a spell?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Roll your attack.
That one, that's not one of the ones, doesn't have fairy fire on it, does it?
Nope, it doesn't. That one's one of the ones out of the way.
Alright, had to make sure. That's a natural 17.
That will hit.
Alright, that is 3, 4, 5 force damage, and it is pushed back 5 feet.
5 feet. Alright, so your little... Do you want to describe how it shoots, or what that looks like, or...?
After sprouting the spider legs and scuttling forward, the top half of it turns 90 degrees to the left and pops up a little bit. A little red glow comes from inside, and a small little, like, gun-like tube comes out, and it blasts a light bluish force pulse from that.
Alright, so this blast flies out and hits this thing's center of mass, and it just kind of like stumbles back a few feet. But it is still standing.
That's both my action and my bonus.
Alright. Cyrilidae, you said you took your movement away from these, right?
Sorry, push to talk. Yeah, so taking my moment. Feedback, hello.
Hello?
I would have taken my movement away when they were still getting up. Yeah.
Okay, so that would have been your 30 feet. So, that means that they are probably going to go against you as these final three are again standing and able to go. But this time your plate armor does its due diligence as you kind of like get your forearm in the way and you fend off two of these and you only take one bite kind of at your elbow where the joints meet. Some fingernails dig in and you will take 7 points of damage.
Okay.
Alright, and then Cyrilidae, it is your turn.
So the zombies are now kind of looking at correct?
Yep, the final three seem to be fighting with him. Or
Okay.
them.
I'm going to do a little as I'm going to take my movement up behind one of them and I'm going to attempt to stab him in the back. But I'm basically very light on my feet, so I do like a little pirouette into rapier stab right through his back.
Okay.
So that's 15 on the die and a +5 to hit, so that is 30-20.
Duty 20. Yep, that will indeed do it.
And that is 10 damage.
10 damage. Alright, so you move up behind this and you do your little twirl and you like stab this thing and the blade goes through surprisingly easily and you manage to like miss all of the bones on the sword and like pops out the front. And it's kind of at the end of your sword but it's still flailing around. Dovin moves towards this and he actually like lines up and he chops off the head of that one that's impaled on the end of your rapier.
And it wouldn't have been my full movement to get behind it, right?
No, you probably have 5 more.
Can I attempt, while my sword is still in it, can I attempt to, like, move and push against the body that is now on my sword and kind of, like, shish kebab it to another?
I mean, that would take another attack. You know, I'll say roll a strength check.
Are you sure about that?
Oh, I'm sure about that.
That's 15.
15?
So I just gotta double check. Yeah, 15.
Yeah, you're able to move it a little bit. Like, you aren't able to, like...
I don't want to attack with it. I would
Yeah.
just want to push the other one off balance.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, that's pretty much what happens. Is you kind of, like... Your sword bends a little bit, and, like, you kind of like, this doesn't look good, but you do manage to, like, kind of knock it into his friends. And that's when Dovin will move up and take the head off with his attack and his turn. And then we get to and suddenly there's only 2 zombies left.
Okay, I'm going to flick my wrist and switch my hand out for a blade. And I'm gonna swing at these fuckers. That is a 19 and a 25.
Both will hit.
Okay. $22 damage.
Yep, that 22 damage.
Yeah.
Alright, so this time you've definitely learned to like aim for the head. And you said you're attacking with a sword, right?
Yeah. Scimitar.
A scimitar, right? And you like slash across and you kind of like crease like just above the jaw and the like the top half of the head like slides to the side and thumps to the ground as the zombie falls to its knees and then falls over. And suddenly there's only one left.
I'm going to spend a key point to make another attack.
Okay.
And this time with weapon. 25.
That will hit.
18 damage.
18 damage. Very, very similar effect as you like follow through with the same routine into the second one. There's one left now, about 25 feet as it was blown back 5 feet. And it's just kind of like stumbling towards the group, but it seems like it's focused on Seal a Day with what seems to be focus, you know. These ones before they were just attacking mindlessly, but this one seems to be moving with a purpose. And it's the last
Oh, it has
one in the ring.
intentions.
And that's your turn.
Can I move to intercept him?
Yeah, you can.
And spending my key counts as a bonus action, correct? Yeah. Okay, that's all I've got then. I'm just moving to intercept.
Sorry, was that the one that I cast Suggest on?
Yeah, and it's...
No, when it takes damage, it Dispel ends.
Oh, it just... Alright, well, it's
Yes.
still moving towards you with a purpose then, because... Yeah, I mean...
If.
Fizzle, it is your turn.
I think that one likes you. Let's see
Well,
what
he
we can
was
do.
my friend until you hurt him.
Well, let's hurt him a little bit more then. I'll actually finally pull out my weapon. Kind of looks like a gun, but the barrel is like really thick at the end and goes down to a thin tip, and could be made of just a bunch of wands put together. I flip a little switch
Is your
on it.
weapon essentially a bunch of wands duct taped together?
Better. I flip a little switch, and the barrel suddenly pops out into dozens of wands, and each section essentially starts spinning in a different direction. I take aim and fire, and it shoots out a bolt of frost.
This
Okay.
sounds aggressively like General Grievous in Revenge of the Sith.
Damn it! Wow, I don't know. Maybe that's where I got the idea from. I'm not sure. Yeah, natural 2 though, so I'm pretty sure that misses.
Yeah, I mean, so your wand, like, kind of starts to spin up, and it lets out this little thing of ice, but it falls very short, almost like, you know, you
You
get a feeling
remember,
like...
I gave you all Bardic Inspiration before this.
Yeah, I don't think it'll help. Maybe what, a D6? 8?
It's a D8.
If
this
you
level.
roll an 8, it might be enough.
With your height?
And proficiency is what, 3? So I'm at like 5. Fuck it. Let's try the inspiration.
I mean, you're not using it anyways.
Okay, so I rolled a 2, I rolled a 5, so that's 7, plus proficiency, 10?
10? Yeah, I'll give it to you.
Okay.
That's just enough. Go ahead and roll damage for me.
Hey, not bad. 6, 7, 8 cold damage.
8 cold damage. That will actually be enough as you, like, pull out this wand and it spins up. And as it starts to spin up, you're aiming low and you think to yourself, I don't know if I've calibrated it. And instead you aim up far higher than you need to, and it kind of like lobs out. And it like lands on this thing's forehead, and the entire head is just covered with ice as it falls backwards, and you like watch as the ice shatters behind it.
Oh, yeah, definitely gonna have to tinker with that a little bit more later.
These things are disgusting.
Yeah, and we will actually be dropping initiative here.
I can't believe my new clothes are sullied.
Well, they are undead and rotting and... Well, yeah.
I'm just going to start clapping my hands together and basically cast Prestidigitation and clean the blood off.
Okay.
Can you assist me as well?
Of course. And I'll just snap my fingers at you, and I'll just whisk away all the dirt and blood.
Thank you. Those can really gum up the gears if it's left to dry.
I can imagine
I am
upkeep is
making a mess.
a little bit of a pain. But now that we've dealt with
perhaps.
the small army, maybe there's something worthwhile behind one of these doors. Behind door number 1, and I'll just kind of like gesture
I'm gonna reach up and stop you. Perhaps you should let me go first. I'm gonna like knock on my chest, making a loud, echoing, metallic thudding sound. Sturdier built.
I was going to get you to go first. I'm not walking in there first. Do I look like a man who's going to take a hit for you? No.
Yes.
Well then, allow me to open the door.
The door's already open.
It's unlocked. It's not properly opened, I don't think.
Yeah, so there's
They
all of the
shifted
doors are
open.
open except for the one directly next to the group, and right, because you have the first one you opened, second one nothing came through, third one zombie came through, and then on the far side is where the rest came from. So there's one door that's still unlocked and just slightly ajar but not open.
Yeah.
First, I prefer to check where the zombies came from, just to see if there are any more, like, loitering.
Okay. Very quickly, I'll give you descriptions and you can let me know if you want to roll in them or around them. So the first one seems to hold another 6 beds. The door next to that seems like it's filled with several, like, little crates with a table in the middle. That looks like people could go here to hang out or to spend time, but there might be stuff in those crates. And the third one seems to be like a little bit of a kitchen or mess hall where there's like a couple of cabinets set up. Everything looks very kitchen for the Fremen, where like you have knives, but they're all like have like a little locker, like some sort of mechanism to hold the knives in place, something to hold this in place, something to hold that in place.
Yeah. And that's all the rooms?
Except for the last closed room and the room where the other zombie came from.
I'll go check the last closed room.
Okay.
I'm just looking for more things to punch.
That one seems to be an actual, like, a storage area where there's, like, several crates, some of them labeled and whatnot. It's a lot smaller than the one back on the bigger one that you came from.
I'm gonna start investigating those crates.
Okay. Do you want to just like read the labels? Are you opening them, or what's the plan here?
I'm gonna read the labels.
Okay. What are you two doing while is going around?
After would have kind of swept a room and made sure it's clear, I'm going to cast Mage Hand. I'm just going to snap my fingers and start pointing at other crates and get the Mage Hand to like open them up if they're not like nailed closed. I basically want my Mage Hand just kind of rummage around and see what we can find.
Okay, and Fizzle?
I'm going to check the bodies for keys, activation crystals, stuff like that.
Okay. So I'll go first. So you start looking around for these crates. You find like most of it seems to be like repair tools and stuff like that. There's one item you find that could be quite useful that you're familiar with. It's a ring commonly used by the Fremen, and it's basically a ring of mending that lets you cast the mending cantrip. So wherever you put your hand, you can kind of close things.
That's actually super cool.
I'm gonna throw that at Sealiday, because I know my other companion can fix things himself. I already have mending. I'm gonna be like, hey, Seal.
Oh, what?
I'm
What
gonna
would you like?
toss something at you. Next time your clothes get ripped.
You also find some medical supplies that'll basically be 2 potions of healing. So it'll be 2d4 plus 4. So there's two of
Okay.
those.
Okay, I'll give that to the other two because I can heal myself.
Okay.
If I need to be healed, they'd probably need to have that on them.
Fizzle, you start looking over the bodies, and the only thing you find is there seems to be a pair of boots that seem to be unnaturally clean and well conditioned. That makes you believe like there's probably some sort of magic in these boots on one of the zombies.
I'll pull those off and stash them away. I'm not going to cast it Identify yet because I want to do that as a ritual.
Okay.
And I don't think we have time.
And Sealiday,
Magical boots, maybe.
you find what seems to be a cleanup kit with some sort of dust in it, and it says like use in case of liquids. And you also find what seems to be about 200 gold scattered around in like some of the foot lockers in total.
All right.
Right.
I'm going to put the cleanup kit. I'm not certain if it's magical, so I'll cast Identify later. But I'm going to get my mage hand to like stow it in my bag for me,
Okay.
and then I'll probably try and reconvene after I've thoroughly cleaned the room. I'd like to check the bunks, see if there's nothing like stashed or hidden
Yeah,
away.
that's kind of where you found the gold, was going through
Okay.
those rooms and searching those over.
Yep. Then I'll reconvene with the group as soon as I'm done.
Okay. Yeah, Dovin just kind of stayed out, and he's like just looking over everything, but he's more focused on keeping watch rather than looting as you guys all come out.
If there's any raw materials in the repair bins, I'm gonna stash those away in my bag of holding.
There's quite a few, but you are aware that usually that salvage you could bring yourself, or if you want, you could get Tick Tick to show up and clean it up for you. So do you want to grab it yourself, or do you want to get them to come pick it up at some point?
I'll get them to pick it up.
Alright. That was mostly
Just
why
anything that's
Dovin was
like
brought.
stand out valuable or rare, I'd take that.
Okay. So that being said, you guys are all out here. What's next? Dovin's just kind of standing there, and he goes, well, going up, or should I start loading?
I think we should probably finish clearing the place first,
Well,
just to make certain.
seems to be one more door up there. And he
Well
like,
then, I
gestures
shall
towards the
operate.
staircase.
And I'm gonna go open it up
Alright, so
and
just,
poke my head through.
alright, I need you to make a dex saving throw.
Oh yeah, my favorite saving throw.
While Chick Chick is doing that, I'm picking up my turret and just carrying him on my shoulder.
Alright.
24.
24. So you go and you open this door, and you're already thinking to yourself, it's probably trapped, and you push the door open, and you're like stepping back before it looks like there was supposed to be a little bit of an explosion, almost like a fireball on the other side of the door, but you like roll to the side as it like goes off. In front of you seems to be an office. There is like it's like trying to figure out the best way to explain this. There's glass on one side, and that's where the light is coming through, and there's a thing of controls in front of it, so you could look out and you could control this thing and move where it's going. But if you were to turn around the other way, there's another like large section of windows that looks out into the place where you guys were just fighting. If that makes sense. It's a little control room. You see slumped in like the chair in front of the controls is another body, but this one actually has like a spike through its head, and it has the same writing at the bottom, and it says, "I go out on my own terms," and it's the same writing you recognize as the captain's writing below.
Is it in common or is it in machine speak?
It's in machine speak, but also in common. He's done his own little translations.
He's very generous.
Yes, he's very thorough on his exit. He had a lot of time to plan this out.
You know what? Respect.
Can we gauge why he would have killed himself? Like,
Probably all
is it
the
because the
zombies.
machine went down? The machine went like the stomper went down. Like, why we're here to salvage? Like, it went down, so he just decided to kill himself. Or is there anything in the control room that would give us a tale?
Roll an investigation check.
While he's rummaging, I'm gonna pull the spike out of this guy's head and I'm gonna start dragging bodies outside for burial.
Okay. You pull this spike out.
Yep.
So my investigation, that is wrong. My investigation is a 22.
22. All right. You find like as is moving this body, you find what seems to be a small little journal tucked into a, I guess a satchel that he's wearing.
Okay.
And it looks like he also has some sort of ring that's like quite clean and quite pristine.
I will take it.
Okay.
What if I want the ring?
You're dragging bodies. Fuck you. Fight me. Let me identify it.
You want to identify that, or?
Yeah. So after we're kind of finished cleaning and everything, as soon as I have 10 minutes, I want to ritual cast identify on the basically floor sweep I picked up in the ring.
Okay. The floor sweep that you get, it's a little bag of dust, and it seems to be dust of dryness, but they're using it to also absorb liquids. And the ring is Ring of Magic Missiles, which lets you cast that up to 3 times a day with like 3 charges, and each day you roll 1d4 and you've regained that many charges.
I hope you all understand how huge this is for me, because I have no damaging spells.
Oh, wow.
I have Vicious Mockery. Everything else is like Suggestion, Old Person, Thinking Cloud.
I mean, I wouldn't use it anyways. I've already got a good cantrip that I like.
So,
Fist?
I was gonna say Word of Radiance, but that one too.
so is there anything else you guys want to do here? Because
Yeah.
yeah.
Gather up the bodies, bury them, while the others are loading shit up.
Okay, well, Dovin is indeed making himself busy loading, but this could be a good place to take a small little break if you guys want to.
I'm fairly good to continue. If you guys want to go get something to eat or drink, then just let me know.
It could be a short break, about 15 minutes if you want.
I don't need that much.
Right, 5 minutes, 10 minutes.
I'm good with 5.
All right,
Leisurely half hour.
Maybe.
then we will be back in
Night.
5 minutes here, and we will continue. We will say everything's loaded and ready to go when we get back.
Out of my face.
Any
Sorry,
other
Cat.
last minute things before that?
Not really.
Yes.
I'm gonna host this tiny funeral for these unknown strangers.
All right, and Fizzle, what do you want?
While they're doing all that, I'm going to do an extra search for like secret compartments because this guy did say that he had something, or hinted that he had something valuable.
All right.
And
Yeah,
I'm guessing it's.
I'll probably join you.
All right.
Cool.
In that case, can you roll with advantage since Seal a Day is helping you?
All right. Investigation.
And also, I'd like to read the journal if I have a moment to see if it gives us any insight into secret compartments of the like.
Okay.
Ah, good thought. Natural fucking 20.
Natural
advantage.
20.
Thank you.
Eat it.
Total of 27.
Woo woo. Okay. So the weirdest thing you find, and I'm only going to include this because of the natural 20, and we all must respect that. You find what seems to be a small compartment. It looks almost like a garbage can under what seems to be a cage. And you see the words, Professor Snaggletooth.
Yes, he's mine.
Over top of this garbage can, and looking at it, and with your investigation, you're aware this seems to be a mini mimic that this guy is keeping as a pet.
He is mine. I call him.
Oh my god!
I've not letting James kill the professor in a second campaign.
We're not talking about that.
The professor is mine. I will feed him.
You're outside.
Yeah, you're
Shut up.
outside, so this is
will
between
talk
these
to you
two what
later.
they want to do.
No!
It seems like he's
wanna
been
go.
using him as a garbage can? As a waste disposal?
Not a bad use for them, actually.
I think the little buddy's actually pretty cute, and I'll, like, try and jiggle under his chin.
While you do that, I'm going to take the break.
All right, we will be right back in 5 minutes then, guys. I will see you then.
I am not here.
Abracadabra.
Ah, so we're
Okay,
all
now
back
I'm here.
already then, eh?
Oh, 1 second. I forgot my water.
And I require the dictionary definition of ready.
The dictionary definition. To stand at attention, to be ready.
Fuck. Didn't know you'd have it on the page, but thank you.
So, is anybody going to come to the funeral?
We're just quickly waiting for Mr. Fizzlebottom, and then we will be off.
Little butt.
Yeah, Mr. Fizzlebutt. He is the one we need. The final key to the puzzle, and then it's all coming together. While I feed my dog.
Oh crap! I should feed Kaya too. Oh. Hey Connor.
Yep.
Connor?
Yeah.
Can you tell Kraken to stop looking into my eyes as if he can see all my sins?
He can see all your
He
sins.
can.
It's well known and documented.
Damn it!
Yeah.
I can't escape the judgment in his eyes. He knows I've never stuck to a diet in my life.
Ooh, I got a new follower.
Hi.
Yes, hello. I'm now up to -1.
-5.
Yeah.
I'm glad our brain goes the same place.
He said he wanted the short break. I gave him the short break.
I told you, a generous half hour.
Generous. Yes, we'll say 5, see you in half.
I'll see you at 4 o'clock on Sunday. Are you currently streaming this, or is it still on break?
I'll see you, but you
it's
won't see
streaming
me.
it, but I just have the B-rate back, so for this, I'll just edit it out. So, you know, we can talk here just fine, because the B-rate back screen is easy enough to find. And I know that it started at 1:18, my recording, and it'll go until a minute whatever. So yeah, we can talk here just fine until he gets back.
I'm back.
You son of a bitch.
Oh, well in that case, I guess we'll get back to this.
Are you sure you don't need more time?
I can take more time if you need it.
Yeah, get out of here.
But I don't actually.
No, baby, come back.
You still there, Lady Knight?
Unfortunately.
Unfortunately, alright. In that case, let me change my music to this. Actually, this is fine, and then I'll change it again later. Yeah, so we'll... yeah.
So, once I get the graves dug...
Need it.
Hold on,
Yeah,
let
get out of
me
here.
do the thing. Well, I
Okay.
don't actually.
No, baby, come back.
You still there, Lady Knight?
Unfortunately.
Who am I
Great.
hearing? In that
Yeah,
case,
that's what I'm trying to figure out.
let me change my music to this. Actually, this is fine, and then I'll change it again later. Yeah, so,
I think it's Rhythm Bot.
yeah, he just decided to break himself.
Why would he do that?
Rhythm Bot is just jamming.
Yeah, he's doing his own thing. Alright.
Play music. No. I want to play music.
No, I'm good. I want to play this instead. I think you'll like it. I'm glad I get to edit this out, and that way people can see what a true professional I am at this. Alright, that should do it. Oh, yeah. I figured it out. Alright, we're good. Alright, we are back from the break. So you guys are currently is out gathering up the bodies and digging. We have Dovin out there helping to move all of the crates, gathering everything into the mini ground shaker. Meanwhile, Sir Leday and Mr. Fizzlebutt, you guys are...
Sorry, what was my name?
Sir Leday.
You got it.
Thank you. You guys are upstairs in what seems to be the captain's old quarters and his command center. And you have uncovered a peculiar crewmate that doesn't seem like he gets out much. What would you guys like to do?
Once I finish digging the graves, I'm going to gather everybody together for a funeral.
Okay. You guys just
All
going
right.
along with that, or are you sticking behind and grabbing anything else?
I think we've scavenged most of everything. So, we did grab the orb, correct? I'm assuming the dwarf would have seen to that?
There is no dwarf.
Oh, sorry, the...
Red shirt.
Yeah, red shirt.
No,
I thought he was a
Dovin
dwarf.
left it.
He was a human, right?
Yep, he's a human. But yeah, no, he left it. The purity orb for the ground shaker is still downstairs in the basement.
Could we not take it, or was it because it was
No one tried.
dirty? Then probably on the way out, I'd try and grab it with Mage Hand.
Okay.
Because I don't want to...
So you're collecting that with Mage Hand. Fizzle, are you going out to the funeral, or are you doing...
Oh, well, I thought they were just gonna, like, repurpose the corpses, but, yeah, sure, I'll show some respect and bury them,
Okay.
even though it's not really their tradition.
And you guys are leaving the Mimic alone?
No, we're taking it with us.
Okay,
Absolutely.
how do you want to take it with you? Because that's an important detail to this whole
Yeah,
thing.
I've heard those things are kind of dangerous, and I don't really want to touch it. I mean, I know it's small, but so am I.
I just gotta look at my character sheet. It's on my phone. I want to, I'm going to take one of the tags off of my cloak, and I'm just gonna throw it in a sweeping motion, and I'm just gonna conjure a sack. I'm going to put the mimic in the sack.
Okay.
You know, like...
I don't know about him.
Do you want
And I need to call dibs.
Fucked.
So you want to put
You're
like...
not here.
You want to put the entire cage as well into this little sack, yeah?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
Also Rhythm
easy
Bot,
enough. So
chill.
you pull out this thing, give it a little flourish, and out comes this sack. And in one very swift, fluid motion, you have a very, very full sack. And you can hear, like, it sounds angry. You know, you hear, like, a weird chittering sound coming from inside this sack. And,
I want to throw a ration in there.
right, so you open the sack and you chuck this food in the chittering goes to more of a chewing sound, and after a couple of seconds, it just kind of dies down.
I'll just kind of pat on top of the cage. Good buddy. And I'll just awkwardly haul my sack away.
Alright, so you haul your sack away, and on your way out, you conjure a mage hand, and you have this herb following
Yes.
behind you. So you have all of the bodies out, and Dovin's out there, and what exactly are you planning to do with these bodies?
In my opinion, they are too corrupted and damaged, so I'm gonna give them back to the earth.
Alright.
I was gonna say something sacrilegious.
Yeah,
Maybe use them as bait too.
I mean, Dovin's there, and he's kind of like, he's giving you this odd look, and he's like, that what you did back on your ground shaker?
Only if they weren't useful anymore, and look at these things. I'm gonna kick one of them that's like, it's pretty beaten up, I'm assuming, by this point.
Yeah, I mean, after you guys have had your way with it and have been splitting skulls, but, you know, there's still, you know, some flesh and some bone to it. There's still some biomass.
Yeah. I'll take what can be salvaged off of them, like, cut off some chunks and throw the rest in the pit I dug.
Still seems like a waste, but fine, Metal Man, and he'll give you a hand.
Couldn't we use this on the ground shaker or whatever that big mechanical thing we were on? Wouldn't it be more use there?
I've scavenged some of it. The rest of this, broken bones aren't of that much use. They're too fragile.
So we're just taking a writhing mass of flesh back with us?
No, not the flesh. The skins. Well, the whole chunks of skins.
So the writhing mass of flesh. I'm glad that we're on the same page.
Dovin.
Flesh and skins are different things. You find anything else interesting in there?
Yeah.
The sack.
What's in the sack?
18 other smaller sacks. What's it to you, Metal Man? Finish with your burial
Curiosity?
so we can go back
Everybody
home.
else acquired something useful. I did not. You've
That's 'cause
acquired
you're not-
2 rings, and each of you have acquired a health potion.
Well, that's maybe because you're too kind-hearted or not kleptomaniacal enough. I think that's your fault. And I'm just gonna, like, sweep my hair away.
He got something that's probably gonna eat him.
Well then, sounds like a him problem.
An issue, not an ish-me.
Alright, so you guys finish up with this burial. And after about an hour or so of work, you guys are back on the mini ground shaker. I believe you guys took the paddle foot out. Or was it the leapfrogger?
I think they wanted the leapfrogger after
It
all
was
said
the
and done. I don't
leapfrogger,
remember.
according to my notes. So you guys are back aboard that crazy contraption. Dovin has taken up most of the room with several of the crates, and he's even like, he's attempted to try to tie it down, but it's a lot more packed than it was. And, you know, it should be secure.
Should be.
Yes, and who's driving this crazy machine?
I think I'm the only one that can.
I don't know my license.
And I believe Fizzle, you were trying to learn, right?
Yes, but
Or am I
I
mistaken?
just remembered I need to take some time and identify these boots, so I'll pass on driving it this time.
Okay. So you'll take your 10 minutes while going. You will find their boots of elven kind. The
I don't really
old
need
standard.
anyone else? Either of you want them?
I mean, these look quite fashionable. I could probably make it work with my outfit.
What do boots of Elvenkind do again?
Advantage from stealth checks.
Ooh, yes.
Alright, well, you already got something, Mr. Bard, so... Here you go, Tick Tick.
Well, thank you.
Alright, Chick.
Guess what?
I'm
Shoes
gonna
are
have
going
to-
into the mimic cage.
Right.
If I can't have
I'm
them,
gonna
no one
have
can.
to find a way to replace my feet with boots now.
We have a couple bodies worth of parts. Just take some feet.
Don't need
free.
these.
I was thinking more like grafting them over somehow.
Are we,
Replacing the leather coverings with different leather coverings.
are we just going to become grave robbers? Is that where this campaign is headed?
Technically,
We
they
already
had the
are.
grave after we robbed them. So, you know.
So I guess we're just going to expedite this back to the ground shaker.
Can I roll to see how rough the ride is?
Yes, please do. That was my
We're
next
leapfrogging.
inquiry.
What skill is it? I've got proficiency, so proficiency plus.
Intelligence.
Yeah, it'll be proficiency plus whatever you roll. It can either be dex or intelligence.
I'm gonna go with dex.
Yeah, because you're not smart.
Schmo-
Is that
So,
a
are
one?
you guys ready to hate me?
I'm
Are you
ready.
ready? Are you ready?
It's a natural one, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Nice.
But I have 6 as well, so.
I mean, so you take off, and soon enough they kind of put it in such a place that it's like unable to clear a dune, but they try it anyways, and they launch it deeply into the sand. And you guys need to take roughly 2 to 3 hours to dig this thing out of this dune, and the sun starts to go down. It should still be able to make it back to Tick Tick as long as there's no other unfortunate events along the way. So go ahead and roll one more dex check for me.
I am going to
There's another one, I
claim
swear.
the entire time that somebody put that dune there. That's 19.
It came out of nowhere.
Alright.
That dune was not there when we got here.
Alright.
It came out of nowhere.
By
Sure.
the way, most of the flesh that you brought after this like little pit stop in the dune, Dovin has actually taken the time to grab that flesh and he's put it into basically the gas tank of this machine. But for the Fremen, it's kind of like a... Well, you guys don't know what's in there except for... and they're aware that it's kind of... It's an altar of some sorts, but it also has some elements of fire and some other machines within that kind of breaks it down and helps to repair certain parts of this machine as it gets damaged and whatnot. Depending on the machine you're in, they all work a little bit differently. So most of the flesh that you did salvage from the crew members has been used to make up for your mistake.
Well, we had good intentions.
Yes, and you had the proper supplies to get out of this unscathed. But soon enough, you guys are back at Tick Tick.
Okay.
So you landed in there. It lowers as it sees you coming, and you land on this pad, and it comes back up into the crawling city of Tick Tick. As soon as you're there, Dovin turns towards you guys and goes, "Well, if you want, I can take over unloading and get all this dealt with, unless you guys want to give me a hand with this, or what's next on your agenda?"
I'll help you.
I suppose you did help us out a great deal. You did protect me from a few of those unsightly corpses. I will do what I can to help.
Yeah, you actually lived. I'm pretty surprised.
You're
Well,
like 2'5". Go fuck yourself.
I find your confidence inspiring.
Hey, I happen to be quite well armored, you know.
I'm gonna give you a look like, you know you're being a dick, right?
Which one of us?
Yes.
You.
Come on, look at him. He's wearing a red shirt. You know what happens to them.
I'm just saying, if you guys are going to help, maybe I might just go off and go see Bose.
If by help unload you mean me doing heavy lifting, then no thank you. I will mediate. I will give tasks.
Supervise.
Exactly. Every group needs a leader. And these cuticles will not take care of themselves.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look at you. I'm good without, and I'm just gonna start unloading boxes and turn off my ears.
Wow,
Flip
that's
them
a
down
really
like a
useful
mic.
skill. Holy shit.
Ears on, ears off.
And I make it obvious too, like you are well aware. I turned off my ears.
How do you make it obvious? What's the motion?
I take them off. And I put my ears in my pocket.
I'm just gonna make a little comment. I'm like, that can't be good for spatial awareness. That they won't be able to hear me. How am I supposed to help give tasks if they're not going to listen to me? Honestly, how rude.
You just hear Dovin go, "Lucky bastard," and he picks up a box and he follows them.
Yeah, I just stand there for a moment thinking, huh, I guess the balancing mechanism isn't in the ears. Fascinating. And then I'll start helping.
I'm gonna use Mage Hand and help lift boxes.
I mean, it doesn't really help lift as much as, like, gently pushes him a little bit. Then there's, like, a single lip in the floor and you can't push it any further. So you move to the next box. You're kind of, like, just, like, shuffling the boxes behind them uselessly.
Yeah, I'm playing Tetris.
Does he trip any of us up by moving these boxes when we aren't looking?
I
I
mean,
think he's slowing us down.
it's debatable. It definitely is debatable. But after a little bit, you guys do have all of these as well sorted as you can, with the helping hand of Cyrodiil being able to tell you, put that there, put that there. You notice
My
how...
what?
Yeah, you're not exactly being listened to or heard, though, but, yeah. And soon enough...
He's trying.
Yeah,
Nobody respects him, but he's trying.
yeah, and then...
I heard that enunciation.
And then Dovin, like, meets with you guys and, like, he offers you your hand. His hand is like, well, thank you for the help. I'll let the boss know that you did good out there.
Thanks for the help, Darvin.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Give like a little question mark at the end. Basically, reading between the lines, you can tell I'm not good with giving compliments.
Okay, where are you going? You see, like, they're all talking, but you can't hear anything. So what's your next stop?
I'm going to go home once I lose sight of Cyrodiil. I'm going to put my ears back on.
Day. Are you even trying?
No. So once I lose
Enunciate.
Cersei Lannister, I'm gonna put my ears back on, head home, and start. I'm gonna take off my legs and affix the boots of Elvenkind.
And just stare at them.
Okay, that does take an attunement slot, so mark that down.
Yep.
So does, what's, I know you have 2 rings there. Yeah, the Ring of Mending is fine, but the Ring of Magic Missiles also takes attunement. So, mark that down. Alright, so Fizzle and Cyrodiil, what are you two doing?
I probably would have tried to go and, I'm debating between going home and going to talk to the captain and irritating him.
Yes, do that. Irritate
I
him
think I
instead.
would have gone to the captain and inquired about things.
Okay, and Fizzle?
You're just gonna go give the captain a quick report, right?
I suppose he deserves to know that what we did, and I'll with a flourish, my mage hand will start rolling the ball in its hand. The orb. I think he might be interested in this.
Oh, yeah, probably.
Maybe it gets me extra food ration.
Good. I've got some tinkering to do, so I'm gonna go do that.
Then I will see you back at home.
Okay, so you guys split up. Fizzle heading home to do his tinkering. Well ahead of him, already there, currently dissecting their feet. And you make your way to the spiral staircase and you ascend all the way up to the command tower of Tick Tick.
Dissecting the feet is the weirdest sentence I've heard all day. Congratulations.
Anytime, buddy. And you're met at the top by the same metal door. And it seems there's a few people inside talking.
I will rap at the door before giving a graceful flourish and a bow. And to be like, I wish to speak to the captain.
Alright, so you see Freeman looks up and he sees you. And he just shakes his head and he looks down. And you can't hear what he says, but you see he does say something. And Yurith goes and he opens the door, comes outside and closes it behind you. And he goes, yes, what is it?
I have something that the captain might find interesting. From that little excursion he sent us on. I insist, I must talk to the captain directly.
Directly, and you're sure this is of the utmost importance?
It is something that he may find valuable.
And you see he just kind of lets out a big sigh, and he's kind of tapping his feet, and he's like, alright, fine, well, we'll get this over with. And he opens the door, and he motions for you to go by, and he calls out to the captain, and he goes, Freeman, this one says it's quite important. I tried to stop him. And he follows.
Luckily,
in
I'm
behind
too
you
thick-headed.
And closes the door. And Freeman just kind of looks at you, and he's like, well, make it quick, what is it?
That little excursion you sent us on. We found some flesh for the city, correct?
I would hope so. That is usually the point of these excursions and why we decide to go from one place to the other. What I'm trying to understand is the disconnect of, if you have any questions or things, please deal with Yurith, as I'm a busy man.
But this is not a question. And I'm going to,
This should be good.
I'm going to use my mage hand and just carry the orb over, and I'm just going to start rolling in my hand, and just slowly place it on his desk. This might be interesting, is it not?
Well, I mean, it would be. I definitely don't like having that thing up here, where it could just do whatever it wants to do. I'd much rather it downstairs with someone to purify it. But thank you for bringing in something. I understand you're new here and you have the best of intentions. So thank you. But next time, let someone that understands these things deal with these things. And he just kind of he looks towards Yurith, and Yurith is already putting on a really big glove, and he picks it up, and he takes his satchel to the side, and he opens up what seems to be another compartment that looks lead-lined, and he puts it inside of this lead-lined compartment and closes it. Wow. And then he takes off his glove.
I hope you didn't want to have children.
Yeah, that's actually what Freeman says next. You weren't planning to have kids, were you?
Of course not.
Oh, well, in that case.
I don't want to sully my figure.
Don't worry about it. Anything else I can do for you, Master Bard?
No, I was assuming a much more dramatic effect from you. And I'll just kind of walk past him and shake my head and just kind of mutter to myself. And it's like,
thank you very much for doing as asked. going above duty to try to poison us with a solid purity stone. And thank you again for asking for dramatics above the call of duty and what is demanded of the present.
As I'm walking away, I'm not really listening to him. I just kind of like wave my hand backwards, and I'll just go home.
As you're walking out, he goes, "I'll be by your house later. There's something I need to discuss."
Am I gonna get?
Urine is already like behind you, and he just kind of like closes the door on your way out.
A bad feeling the captain's gonna just beat me in my sleep.
Are you heading home, or where do you want to go?
Yeah. I'll just head home and then
No?
probably since it's getting dark, no, we sleep during the day.
Yeah, usually it depends. Like, the cities usually have a way of moving on their own, and a way to keep the sun off, so it tends to go as long as it can. Day and night doesn't matter as much if there's proper protection. But as for the actual excursions or leaving Tick, those are usually done at night.
Okay, that's fair.
Alright.
Then I'll just pay attention to what time it is and whatever else is kind of doing. If they're resting, I'll rest. If they're eating, I'll eat.
Alright, well, you get back to your house and you see your two companions seem to still be getting along rather well on the dining room table that they've divided into a workspace.
My 1/32 of the table is very important.
You know, we could just like build you another table.
I admire the thought, but no, this is my special place, and I'll just like push my robe on the table and like act like I'm trying to take up space with it.
We can give you more room.
No. This is plenty. This is all a man needs is him and his table. And I'll just like put my sack down on the table.
Okay, have not heard that one before, but okay. Yeah, sure.
Obviously you're not as well-traveled as I am. I have been kicked out of many a city by the guards, after swindling them, of course. It's really a shame. And I'll just kind of like go off on a little muttering tangent about why I was evicted from the cities.
I'm like halfway listening as I pull out some,
Pulls off your ears too.
if only. As I pull out some like paper and some metal canisters and some black powder.
Okay. So you guys continue to work, and a couple of hours later, it's probably about the time where most people are like turning in for the day or the night, depending on their respective schedules. Someone just kind of opens the door and walks in, and it is Captain Fulvin. He's comes and he actually has like 2 bottles with him, and he just kind of like walks in and he goes, I'm glad I found all of you here, and I hope you don't mind my intrusions.
Oh wow, not even a knock. Okay. Things sure
I'm just
are
kind of
different
like
here.
I'm just kind of slowly feeding rations to the mimic.
He walks over and he sets the things down and goes, well, I would knock, but then I remembered it's my ship, and this one has already intruded on my time, so I figured Mikasa Sukasa sort of thing.
Can
If I
not
don't get
be
us kicked
punished
off the
for
ship.
his choices, please?
You're not being punished. I've come with drinks, and I've actually come to discuss something I'm sure you guys were quite curious about.
How do words work?
Well, I see you're already...
A meeting with the captain is quite wonderful to hear. We must be your favorite.
Well, I mean, you are something, and you have a particular role on this vessel. And I did, I was gifted, or I procured you for one of several reasons. One of them being as you're expendable, and he gestures towards Fizzle, and he gestures towards Cyril Day. You guys aren't Freeman, so it's really, it is what it is as to why you're here, but you did do very well on your first outing. How was that for you, by the way? Are you still settling in well?
If we would have had a bigger haul back, if this one, I'll gesture to the big pile of metal, hadn't crashed us into a dune and caused us to waste extra time.
Not
But
my
other than that-
fault.
Oh, I
Give
know.
you a look
The
that
dune must have come
says,
out of nowhere. If only you'd plugged in your eyes.
I'm gonna give you a look that says, I'm throwing you under the bus first chance I get.
I throw myself under the bus. Fuck you.
Well, that's...
But yes, Captain, you may continue singing my praises.
I'm gonna give you the dirtiest, most betrayed look I can.
I'm filling up another canister with black powder.
Okay. So he pours himself his own drink, and he looks at you guys and goes, I take it you have your own cups, and it is unfortunate that the hall wasn't as big as it could have been, as he glances towards but it's the way of the desert. Things happen, and all we can do is adjust accordingly. And I'm glad you made it back with the ground shaker, and everything more or less intact, with no one left out there. Now, are you going to drink with me, or shall I just continue my little speech?
Oh,
I
come
am
on.
unable to at the moment. I need to finish my work.
Cups.
I'm going to pat one of my legs because they aren't attached. I can't even stand up from where I'm sitting.
In, like, Acme, in, like, Teletoon fucking type, I instantly appear beside him, leaning on the table, grabbing the bottle.
Style.
Yes. I don't know how words work.
Just drinking straight from the bottle.
Yeah, it's like, as soon as he's like, are you gonna join me? I'm just like, oh.
Okay. And Fizzle, you're
Which
looking
has a
for cups,
has-
yeah?
I don't see any nearby, but I see two of the metal canisters that I've been using, so I pull out a
Filled with
couple
black
lamp.
powder.
Maybe. Not full, but there might be some residue in there.
I call this one a wine kicker. Alright. So
Gives it a nice
I
bite.
call this one indigestion.
yeah, so you
I
fill it
call
up.
this one I hate myself.
You think they look clean enough, you know?
Yeah, I'm drinking out of
Yeah,
worse.
you've drank out of worse indeed, right? So, the captain continues and he goes, so, I believe it is important to know that I was gifted this a bit ahead of when I was supposed to get my own ground shaker. But, I have a plan, and it should pay off, and that's why they gave me this. We're currently on our way to go meet a mage who has some information that we might find prudent, and he's from Ithril. I'm sure you guys have heard about whatever is going on up there, and you've also probably heard the rumors of this supposed new Ithril, the mage states that have aligned themselves with Dargoth far to the south.
Yes, I've heard all the stories. That is my job.
Well, this one that we're meeting, he says that has some aligned interests with us. So we're heading towards the Ithril border. We'll be meeting up with this, I think his name is Henry. And from there, we'll be going towards these ruins and hoping to find something worth trade. But whatever it is, I do think it is big, and that's where you guys come in. You're going to be in charge of this one's safety and heading pretty much all of the excursions that he wants to take, and it's of the utmost importance that wherever he goes, he's not left alone, but he's left unharmed. Is this making sense with you guys? I'm seeing a lot of dull stares.
I think that would actually be pretty easy. Yeah, you've got that bag of holding emptied out, right?
Are you talking to me?
Either one of you.
Yes, I have the bag ready.
Well,
In
that'll
there.
make things a lot easier then. We can just stick him in there and boom, he's safe.
No.
I'm sorry, but
You would survive in bags of holding.
you should know that bags of holding don't contain air. He would suffocate.
Uh,
You, as a man of science, must know that.
he's a mage. I'm sure he can have some way around
No.
that. Oh, okay.
I don't know if he's that kind of mage at the very least, but I care not how you keep him safe. If you want, broach the subject with the man. But I just wanted to let you know and give you a head start onto what it is you will be doing. If you have any questions, now is the time. If not, after this little conversation, I'll be out the door. Please return all of your returning questions to Earth.
Of course. You seem to be a busy man.
And you seem to be an agreeable sort. So is that... Are we clear? Is this... No questions?
Is there
No.
anything we should know about this guy?
He's a mage. He's from Ithril. We're listening to him, and we don't want him hurt. That about covers everything I know of him.
I have a question.
Go on.
Can I return to upgrading my legs?
I never told you to stop, so yeah, I suppose.
It seemed to work while you were talking.
He looks towards you, Day, and he goes, someone that understands.
I know, they're so hard to come by, aren't they?
That he grabs the bottle from out of your hands. He picks up the other one and he weighs it, and he puts the more empty one back down, and he walks out the door.
And I'll start sucking at it like a sippy cup. Just give me 1 second, I just gotta go feed my dog.
Yeah, of course. And with that, it's just the three of you left here.
Connor,
Yes.
during the night, I want to hide some of Celadel's personal grooming items.
Okay. I'm pretty sure he's only used prestidigitation for pretty much everything. So what fingers do you want to cut off?
The point of the cut was hand. No. I'm not gonna cut off his hands yet. I'm not. Am I that disconnected from reality that my character would believe he would be okay without fingers?
Probably not. But when he gets back, we'll get a nice little perception. Let's get a stealth from you right now, actually.
23.
23. Alright, and then we'll just need to get a perception from him. And then we'll go from there. And we'll say, you probably find a comb.
Yeah.
And I'm obviously making some grenades.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do this in
Wine
the middle of the night
grenades.
as petty revenge for throwing me under the bus.
The best part is, I think...
What is this, Breaking Bad? Just cooking grenades in the kitchen? And also, you to find my backup comb because I imagine I have a utility belt of grooming supplies.
So you find his backup comb.
But I have inlaid silver grooming materials on my belt. So I have brushes, I have combs, I have nail files, I have everything. It's just inlaid with silver and just beautiful.
And a
I'm
bedazzled
gonna
douche.
hide a couple
Yes.
of them.
Right. So, you guys go to bed and you wake up the next day. Still a day, nothing seems out of sorts as you still have all of your primary tools still well and handy. But, it's... Are you pretty OCD?
I imagine he's very thorough. I wouldn't say obsessive compulsive, but he likes things to be a very specific way, and he tries to ensure that it's
Alright,
rhythm bot, please.
roll a perception for me.
18. Do you want me to put my perception to it, or just on the die?
You're adding your perception to it.
Okay, I have expertise, so that is 26.
I mean, you can tell that it seems like somebody was in your room. Like something just feels off when you wake up, but you can't quite place it. But it's just one of those things.
Just gonna try and shake it free of my head and ensure my primary things are there and my bed's made and everything is tidy.
Alright.
Witness this room is a pigsty, and I'll just kind of like go cleaning. Already perfection, but clean it more.
Okay. Fizzle, is there anything you're doing in the early mornings or just back at your craft?
Making meth this time?
No, I used to have the recipe for that, but I lost it. A real shame, you know. No, I'm gonna wake up, have some coffee or whatever there is to drink, and the very moment this morning that I see Cyrodiil, I'm gonna give him a hard look, because I'm not really sure anymore if it's actually him or if his pet has replaced him.
Roll an investigation check.
You can see the cage on the counter munching away.
And that dropped off the table. Let's do the crappy dice that doesn't like me. Oh, hey,
1.
said investigation?
Yeah.
21.
21. I mean, it seems like him. It smells like him. It moves like him. But you're not quite sure. As he like moves around and like sits at the table and he joins you for breakfast.
Scoot away a little bit. Just eyeball him for a few minutes until Chick comes out.
Alright, you come out and you see them sitting at the table. Fizzle, at least double arm's length away.
I'll lean towards Chick. I'm not entirely certain if it's him.
Do you come out or what's?
Yeah. Oh, I'm coming out. I am, one of my hands is like, a lot of the pieces are loosened, and I'm tightening them back up. Like, it's clear that in the morning, the first thing I had done was, like, take apart my hands and fix up things, you know?
Yeah.
And I'm
Okay,
finishing up morning maintenance.
Okay. And
I'm gonna subtly glance at like the canisters of bio oil and see if like the comb that I hid in there has been like disturbed at all. And then I'm gonna sit down between the two guys.
they can't seem undisturbed unless they just, exactly where you left them.
But I'm assuming that Celia D is not going to mess with the bio oil, so that feels like a good place to start hiding his shit on him.
Yeah, Sila DDD seems pretty content picking at his fingernails at the kitchen table.
I'm gonna lean in a bit towards Chick.
Yeah.
Careful. I'm not really sure if it's him.
And why wouldn't it be? I whisper back.
It could be his pet.
Also, if I have a passive perception of 18, if I hear anything, I mean, I can see them whispering, but...
Yeah, I mean, you get like the
I'm not being like, incredibly subtle about it.
Yeah, you get
so
like,
you probably overheard that.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm being very subtle.
You get most of the words, like 2 out of 3 words.
Oh,
I've got a 23
Princess Dog
stealth
Meat.
to whisper.
Poor dog meat.
I am whispering
If
with the best of them.
he has extra beans.
Alright, so Cyrodiil, you hear them whispering about whether or not you're a mimic.
No,
That
whispering about my curiosity about what fucking pet.
I'm also underneath the table, slowly pulling out my arcane firearm, keeping it underneath the table, but I'm pointing it at him just to be certain, just in case.
I'm just gonna go about my morning. I'm just going to like sip on coffee if coffee exists.
Yeah,
It's just kind of like morning routine. I'm gonna pull up my comb and I'm gonna start like going through my luscious, beautiful hair. Gonna apply a little bit of oil, like a little bit of gel, and just like styling my hair at the table.
Is that the same hand that he usually uses? I never really paid attention.
My skin is immaculate. My nails perfect. Like I look like I was crafted.
I make a mental note to steal his nail file next.
Alright. While you are doing this, you do indeed see the sack on the table still kind of like... There's chewing noises coming from it as well.
I'm gonna open up the sack.
I'm just gonna reach in. I'm just gonna like tap your hand away and I'll pull out another ration. I'm just gonna slowly feed it to him.
Alright, so yeah, are you taking
Where did this come from?
We found it in the ship. The captain was using it as a garbage disposal. I figured little Timmy here might have a little bit more fun if he was actually entertained, fed.
Okay.
He's quite a charming little thing, isn't he?
Dibs. Did you call dibs yet? I'm gonna turn to my close personal friend. Did he call dibs?
It's in my sack. I brought him here.
Oh crap!
Yes,
Did
but
you leave
he's
that
already
thing on the
called
table all night?
Yeah, you did leave it on the table all night.
Ah, shit! I start checking all of my tools and making sure everything is there and nothing is gone.
I mean, he's in a cage. Did he eat the cage?
I don't trust those things.
Yeah, I mean, so when you open it, by the way, all you see what seems to be a small little, like, it wants to be a garbage can, but the chest is the easiest thing for it. So it looks like a wooden rectangle with a very small lid over top of it. And as you like drop something, it like kind of like flips itself open, and as it like falls in, it closes. And then you just see it kind of like vibrates around the middle section, and there's like these little like chewing sounds.
Vibrates aggressively.
But it is
I wonder if
inside.
it has preferences for food.
Huh?
I wonder if it has preferences for food.
Well, should we find out?
Nearest wrench.
The nearest wrench.
Nope, I'm gonna offer it a wrench and see what happens.
Alright, Fizzle, you watch as they pick up your wrench that you're currently using.
Slap that out of your hand. Not my wrench. That's my favorite wrench.
Don't you have like 40 wrenches? I've seen them strewn about.
But this is my favorite.
Are they all not your favorite? Are you really going to choose amongst all of your children? How could
Mine
you?
are tagged.
Fine, I'll give up my least favorite one for the cause. And also, I pull out a glass vial. Just in case. Something different.
Alright, so you pull out what seems to be a... What does your least favorite wrench look like? Anything
It's
in
new.
particular, or is it just like every other wrench?
Rusted. It looks like it's gonna break if you ever use it even once.
Okay.
This thing fell together with prayers and thoughts.
Yeah.
Right. So you pull that out and you hold it over and you drop it in, same as everything else.
I'm handing this over to Chick Chick.
Okay.
You want to find out? You can find out. I'm not
I'm
getting.
gonna cast mending as it's handed to me, so as soon as it is in my hand, it immediately like looks a tiny bit better.
Yeah.
Just a little bit.
Yeah, not much, but a little bit. Some of the cracks. Filled.
Noticeably less cracked.
Yeah, but still rusty. It looks like you filled it in with more rust.
Oh yeah, the core of that thing is totally fucked.
I'm gonna offer it to him. See.
How do you offer it? Like, are you like dropping it, or are you like trying to like pass it in?
I'm trying to pass it in. I'm not dropping that. You don't drop a wrench on a baby's head. You could crush its skull.
What skull?
Alright. So you like...
You could crush its lid.
Alright, I'll roll an animal handling check.
Wow. 19.
19.
Is it... Oh wait, no. 21.
21. Alright. Yeah, so you put it in there and there's no movement. And you kind of like slide this thing up and down. And like when you finally get close to the mouth, it just kind of like very slowly, it opens the way it would from the top, except it completely opens in the opposite direction. Like it's like a really, really bad, like it's like, this is how I work now. And it just flips open upside down and like takes the wrench in.
Gizmo. Gizmo's a much better name.
Okay. I'm still working out the bugs with the Timmy thing.
You also do see it does have the name on top of the cage, as it looks like it's been like welded to the side, Professor Snaggletooth.
I suppose. I guess we call him the Professor.
Professor Gizmo, and I'm eyeing that plate, already thinking of all the different ways I can rename him and change that plate to match.
I mean, we could at least do the captain some honor of keeping his name. Professor Snaggletooth.
Professor Gizmo Snaggletooth. We're on first name terms now.
I'm just gonna stare at the metal one and just... You know how you look at someone when they're really stupid? That's how I'm looking at you.
Look at them! They are clearly a gizmo.
It's a thing, and it's going to eat one of you.
Preferably him. And I'm gonna nod towards Cersei.
You're not even trying anymore. Did the captain, I don't remember, did the captain give us a time frame of when we were going to meet the mage? Because he said we were going there. But did he give us a time frame as to how long it would take?
No time frame was mentioned, just that that's where you guys are heading, and soon enough, you're on Mage Watch.
Goodness. Is this ever going to end? This dreadful desert? The sand? It just gets everywhere in my clothing and it itches. So terribly.
I'm pretty sure you've been conscripted.
Make a
I'm an
mental note
entertainer,
to
not a
put
fighter.
in his clothes.
You ask, I can pull out stories. You ask that I perform? I have my flute at the ready. You ask me to lift things? That is not my speciality.
Well, you're
Clearly the quiet game isn't your speciality either.
Of course not. My voice is lovely. I am a beautiful, beautiful creature. I would not want to spare anyone.
So, after a little bit of this, of feeding the professor and, going back and forth a little bit, you do finish up breakfast. Is there anything you guys want to do, or are you planning to just kind of hang around for most of the day and see what happens?
I'll probably go, like, if there are taverns or small gathering areas, I'll probably wander around the ship and mark it down on my imagination board, of how to get back. And I'll go try and perform for people and make money or something along the way.
Yeah, it's not the biggest. There's maybe about 40 people on here, but there are a few different shops you could go to. There's a cook, there's a quartermaster, there's a scrap keeper that seems like he usually has random things to sell, the things that he's found, and then there's also a few common areas where people do go to drink.
I'm gonna go see if the scrap keeper has anything interesting, and then I'm going to go look for something broken. and then I'm going to fix that broken thing, whether it wants to be fixed or not.
You could probably find both of those at the same place.
Appropriating broken culture? Okay.
Does the scrap keeper have any broken things that I can fix and then resell?
His face.
Probably. So that's where you want to go. Seal a day. Was that right?
I wanted to go to the tavern where everyone's drinking and go perform.
Right. And Fizzle, where did you want to go?
I'm gonna go down to the really fast ships and start familiarizing myself with the controls.
Okay.
Maybe see if I can find like a user manual and flip through that and maybe take a peek at the engine and stuff like that.
Right. For you, it'll be quick. Can I just get we'll say a percentile roll?
I haven't done one of those in a while. Half a second. Fine. There's a 1910. And that fell off. God damn it. That is a 21.
21. With the effort that you put in yesterday, this day is more about refamiliarizing yourself and just kind of affirming, but you're kind of a little scatterbrained when you get there, and you're kind of looking at both of them and trying to find more like similarities. But after a little bit,
Damn mimic.
yeah, and you're also still kind of thinking like, what if he got out? What if he's eating the rest of my ventures? And you like look down and you brought your tool bag with you, and you're like, damn, I'm good. And after a little bit, you are able to focus on. You think you could probably start either of the machines, but it'll take you a few seconds to like refamiliarize yourself to use them properly. Suliday, can you are you looking to just phone there? Are you hoping to find something there, or?
Perform. I'll ask the crowd if they want to hear stories or if they want a like an instrumental.
Well, why don't we start with just let's say a persuasion roll to kind of get like your rapport upon entry, and we'll see if that affects your performance.
So then, persuasion. I have expertise because bards are fucking experts in everything. It's disgusting. So I should just remember this number. That's 10? Yeah. So it's a pass of a 10, so I have 26.
26, right? And roll a performance with advantage.
Don't like that one. I will take a 19. So that's 29.
29. Yeah, I mean, you do really, really well. I mean, you were kind of wondering if, like, you were not very popular with the Freeman after, like, the way your group has been treating you and their general, like, you know, almost disdain for your cleanliness. But
Freeman, Connor.
now that you've been along the Freeman, especially in this battle, you realize it's not you. It's them. You fucking rock.
I play Through the Fire and the Flames on my flute, and I even pull out another one and play that one at the same time.
Yeah, dual wielding flutes. Yeah, I mean, and you even get a few tips, and you probably get about 10 gold. You get a bunch of other things that you're just like, I'm not picking that up if you pay me. You know?
I'll probably use my mage hand and use it to bribe the fucking metal one.
Right.
I'm just impressed that you can actually play that song.
I'm the fastest flute in the West. Of course I can.
Meanwhile, we have... You make your way down to where the quartermaster is, and then you keep going down to where the scrap keeper is. And it's kind of like wherever things are broken or things like they don't know what to do with, they give it to this person and they kind of tinker their way away and try to figure out what it is that they can or can't do with it. This one is a halfling named Chunk, and she is pretty much wearing like just a leather suit. She has a rebreather on, and she has like these massive goggles with like several lenses in front of them. And like I said, she's just going through things as you come down, and she just waves at you. She says something in machine speak that's a little too fast for you to follow, but you do get the general gist of her going, "What can I help you with? What do you have? What do you need?"
I'm going to greet her in machine speak and ask for some broken things that need fixing. Whatever's been around the longest.
All right. Roll a persuasion check.
I do not have a bonus in persuasion, so that's just 13.
Okay. You kind of like she goes off again, right? And again, it's a little too quick for you to understand, but the general gist is she's like, "You think you're better than me? You think you can do this? Fine, have a challenge." And she comes back with what seems to be a a doll that was caught in a fire, but at some point someone tried to mix it with another doll, and it's like several different sizes, and then someone at some point tried to put like a little engine on it, so it looks like this two halves of a person slapped together with jets on their heels.
Boots of fast.
And she's just like, "Here you go, have fun."
I'm gonna nod. I'm going to thank her, and I'm not going to explain that I just assumed she was too busy for some small, insignificant things. Not that I was trying to insult her. And I'm going to leave with this doll, and like I'm gonna have to think about this now.
I mean, you also kind of get the idea if she gave you a child's toy, because she did kind of take it as an insult. But you know.
Oh, that is clear.
Alright. So with that, you get sent off with that.
I have an idea already.
Well, before you make it back to your house, you're actually found by Yurith, and he just goes, "Are you busy, or do you have a moment? I'm trying to find the rest of your group. I know where the boat is."
Yes, I can hear him from here as well, unfortunately.
Rocking the fuck out.
Fantastic. To my understanding, the mage has been located. So we were hoping to send you guys to go pick him up, or we could send someone else if you were busy.
I'll find the others, and I'm gonna go and assume that since I didn't see Scarawampy at the quartermaster, that he's going to look at the vehicles because he's interested in those.
Okay.
And learning to drive.
You are stopped before you go, and you just goes, "Take the paddle foot, though. Be gentle with the mage," and then he lets you go.
I'm gonna get like a little upset that I can't take the Frogger again, but fine.
Came out of nowhere,
I'm gonna go check the vehicles.
Yeah, I mean, you spot your Mr. Fizzlebottom going from one machine to the next, and it looks like he's taking a few notes, and he's trying to figure some things out.
Okay.
I think I've got it. It's like, oh, hey there! Right as I push the what I think is the on button.
Is it the on button?
I don't know.
It's a button.
I think it is.
Roll a d20.
Yeah, let's not use the one that hates me.
No, use that one.
Okay. Challenge
Rolls the
accepted.
one that hates me. Rolls a 21.
Natural fucking 20.
Yeah,
Hates you, my ass.
No, seriously, this one actually does hate me.
Not only do you
But
hit
someone had to say something.
Not only do you hit the on button, but you also like manage to brush the brake, and you hold the brake so then the vehicle doesn't roll forward or move in any way. And it's like, just idling, ready to go.
Oh, hey! I figured it out! When I get to
Wonderful. For now, turn it off and go fetch the mage.
Fine.
Should we get the bard, or should we leave him to sing his songs?
I know you could just fetch him. I'll wait here and keep the engine running.
Unfortunately, I don't trust you enough to drive yet.
Ah.
Although, I suppose on the way there would probably be better than on the way back. So sure, you can drive there.
Yoo-hoo! Nice. All right, let's get him and then get the hell out of here then.
Do you need to pick anything up from our house?
No. Luckily, I took everything with me, or at least everything that I'll need.
Wonderful. And I guess I'm gonna have to go get the bard.
Okay, so you show up and he's actually playing his heart out. And there's maybe 10 people in here, which is a lot for such a small city. And they're all having a good time. You see Freeman like dancing, you see them hollering, and you can even see some of them have like probably mentioned to Seardale more of their sort of music. And he's even like tapping a can and getting some of those more mechanical sounds going in his music. And it's quite inspiring to see.
Okay, so it's not terrible, but I'm gonna like whistle and nod towards the door, trying to get his attention.
I mean, you can see it all day. You have a high passive.
Yep.
My whistle sounds like a steam whistle, by the way.
I hate it. I'm going to finish up my song. What was I playing? She'll be coming around the mountain. I'll finish up and I'll give a huge flourish and a bow, and I'll be like, "Thank you all so much for coming to my first show, but I must depart." And then I'll just do the as you whistle to make the train sound, and then I'll collect my winnings, I assume, and I'll just kind of follow you up.
Yeah, see, we'll say over the time you probably got up to about 15 gold, and then a couple of drinks offered to you throughout the night. So you may be a little tipsy if you partake.
Fuck yeah.
Fuck yeah. Alright, so that you guys all meet down in the hangar. Fizzle still has the engine going nice and hot.
Can we open a window or something? It is quite toasty in
We'll
here.
that as we go. Sit down, strap in, and shut up. I'm gonna go take
In
the
that order?
co-pilot seat and
I'll,
just see for Fizzle Faffaroni to do his thing.
Let's go
Ready in
up to
3,
myself.
2, and I hit the throttle full go.
Alright, so you guys drop out of this and you start going. In the back, you see Yurith, and he's like, "Wait for me." And he, he. I imagine you guys slow down, and he catches up, and he gets on. And he looks at you, he's like, "Well, that was quite impressive that you've picked that up so fast."
He's a
Yeah, you
little excited.
It was actually kind of easy.
I'm just like stuck to the wall. Like, haven't even buckled in yet. I had taken a step on when he went full retard.
And Floyd.
The plan.
So I'll like take a minute to gather myself and actually strap myself in. Well, I'm just gonna like give my pants a sweep. Now that my pants are nice and soiled, let us continue.
Well,
Yeah, what direction?
he pulls out a compass and he looks at it, and then he like pulls out a map and he looks at that and he just kind of like confirms himself. And goes, "It should just be a bit more to the north, and you will just be curving towards the east. There should be a spot where we see a little bit of grass, and that will be the border, and he should be on just our side somewhere. I was told that he would be sending a message once we get within range." So, with that, can I get a proficiency, kind of like intelligence check here? So, roll. For you, it'll just be intelligence because you don't have proficiency with the vehicle. So D20 plus your int,
Okay.
unless you want it to be plus your dex.
Oh,
Can,
not bad.
can I help at all by like shouting tips
Yeah.
while going?
Yeah, so you can roll with advantage.
Well, the first one was an 18 plus 4. And the other one was less. So, 22.
Yeah, I mean, you actually pilot this thing smoother than was yesterday. And even though they're there, like, going like, do this, do that, you're already like there. Anytime that like you need to slow down here, you're already doing that. When they're like, you gotta speed up here, you're already doing it. Like you're like just a step ahead pretty much the entire way.
Yeah, see, I told you I got it.
And soon enough, you do see like a little bit of like grass popping up here and there. And you kind of like start heading a bit more east along this way as Yurith recommends that path. And there's a bit of a sand dune off on one of the side, and Yurith is saying, well, it should be about here. And as he's saying this, you watch as the sand of this dune almost starts to like deflate, as if like there's something underneath it that's like gone away. And out comes what seems to be this rabbit person wearing a very nice little vest, and he has a fancy little hat on as like this sand dune collapses behind him, and he just kind of like waves towards you guys, and Earth goes, I think that's him.
Well, even if it isn't, that is the cutest little one I've seen all day. I might just adopt him.
Well, I thought it was, if it isn't him, it might be dinner, but, oh, okay, I slam on the brakes.
Okay. uh, can I get a dex save from Cyrodiil and
I'm just going to use Fool's Tumble.
Okay. So you just kind of roll with it
Yep.
from one
And-
side to the other.
Yeah, I get the dash action, disengage, I get climbing speed, and I take half damage from falling.
Yeah, I mean.
So I rolled a 1, so I'm going to use slow fall as a reaction.
Okay, so you also like managed to catch yourselves. Yoth is like, and that's why we buckle up. um,
Buckled up.
and then he looks towards you, and he goes, if you could open the door, please. Just, I believe you know the button. Damn you,
I'm gonna
rhythm bot.
Bye,
You
Rhythm.
failed me.
Oh, rather point it out to him.
Okay, so are you opening it and letting them out?
Yep.
Okay.
Oh, that's good, because I forgot which button did that.
Let me just get these playing.
Good to know that you're the one piloting. When you forget what things do.
Just the door. That's not the important part.
So
I suppose you're not incorrect, but I'd much prefer my pilot to know what he's doing.
I do. I think I might have even figured out how to make the thing go faster.
Goodness, no.
Oh, yes.
So as you're saying this, you hear the sound of like footsteps at the back of the ramp, and you just hear this like voice call up, and it goes, "Hello? Is anyone in there?"
I'm gonna call back. Hello, yes. 1 second, and I'm gonna go check and see who's at the ramp.
Seems to be the rabbit person. They seem to be about 6 feet tall, very floppy ears that go down to about their mid chest, and they seem like they have gray fur. And he has.
Hello. And you all?
You can call me Roswell. I'm supposed to be meeting here. I have an agreement with Captain Fulman.
Well, I am. And these are my companions, such as they are. And I'm gonna let somebody else take over talking because
I'm gonna come like as soon as
I'm
I
sure
see his
somebody wants
floppy ears. I'm gonna come screaming down the ramp, and I'm just gonna start falling. Oh my god, your fur is so beautiful. Can I pet it? Can I play with it? Can I rub it? And I'm gonna like pull out my comb and my brush, and I'm gonna start like tending to his ears.
Oh, wait,
Oh my god.
thank you. That's very nice of you. Can I come aboard? Just this way up, yes?
I'm just gonna follow him.
And he like
Yes, this
makes
way.
his way up onto here, and he like nods towards Yurth, and Yurth introduces himself. And then Yurth turns towards you, and he goes, "Well, I suggest we get you to buckle up there, Henry, and then we'll get back to Tick Tick, and then you can have your meeting with Fulvin, and we can go from there." Good with everyone?
Yep.
By the
Just
way,
gonna.
Henry, these guys will be the ones staying as your entourage on your guards, and you will be sharing their quotas, so I hope you guys have a room cleared out for him.
Wait, he's what?
He can even have my portion of the table. With
Oh,
ears like
wow.
this, he can do whatever he wants.
And
He likes you.
thank you. That's very kind. Thank you.
Until he sees the table.
And he like sits down, and he kind of like fumbles with the contraption that's the seatbelt for a little bit, and then Yurth goes over and buckles him
I'll
in.
be right back.
No. Is he humanoid or is he like big rabbit boy? Like, does he have opposable
he's
thumbs?
humanoid. He has like some thumbs, but he's definitely very rotund.
Love him. I love him so much.
Oh, sorry, we have a dog losing their mind. It is the residential healer. Oh, what's he back in? So with that, he gets buckled up. Can you make another intelligence fizzle to get this machine back and moving towards Tick Tick?
Going in 3, 2, throttle, full throttle. 13
Close it.
plus intelligence. 17.
17? Yeah, it's not bad. It's not as smooth as your first time, but you're a bit more distracted with the new guy, and you keep hearing like weird sounds behind you as you're going. So you kind of like it breaks your attention every now and again.
Yeah,
It might be the mimic.
I'm really tempted to look at. I really. Hold on.
Don't take your eyes off the desert.
Nope. Nope. I have to look
It'll
back
come out of
for a
nowhere.
moment.
These dunes come out of nowhere, as would tell you. Alright, so with that, you guys will make your way back towards Tick Tick. We'll actually probably be ending today's episode here, as this is a pretty solid place. But for you guys, thank you for playing. And for everyone on YouTube and Twitch, thank you for joining us for this episode. And we will see you, I would say next week, but given the current way, it'll probably be 2 to 3 weeks, maybe 4.
I'm sorry, I'm sufferable.
Alright, see ya. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.